Mr. Cho is a highly esteemed leader within Portland's Chinese American community. Through his wisdom, dedication, and focus on preserving Chinese American culture, he has made vast contributions to the community. He sat down with us to discuss his role as the president of the Oregon CCBA, his position as a broker for Portland and Kaohsiung City in Taiwan to become sister cities, how he helped to establish this sport of dragon boat racing in Portland, and how he enabled the realization of the Lansu Chinese Garden. Here's what he had to say.
Years ago, when in 1848, the year Americans discovered gold in San Francisco area, there were three Chinese Cantonese merchant商人 that happened to be in San Francisco. They immediately go back to Duishan, and he informed all the villagers. In 1848, there was gold. You can go to the river and easily pick up. So when all the gold are gone, it become old golden mountain. So 高金山、旧金山，这它来历。So people from Canton arriving 1848. 2 years later, there was a Li Guan called Chinese boarding house. What do you call in Chinese boarding house? 住宿的地方。旅馆。Okay. So there is evidence that Chinese has a business already.
Here, Poland, right?
1850.
Here in Poland?
In Portland.
Okay.
In Chinatown. You can see this in Oregonian. Go to the library. It's all recorded. So that a few years later, Chinese suffer a lot of discrimination, hitting, beating, killing, but Chinese survive. You know, within a few years, the gold suddenly start to go down. Everybody dig and run. You know, Chinese go to the leftover. 剩下来的去拿。And Oregon, Alaska, within a few years, American growing fast and railroad. So the third job Chinese jump in was building the railroad to the east. And many of those things you can find in eastern Oregon. By 1860, the discrimination is getting worse and worse. Chinese and Irish crush. Irish people built railroad from the east coast. Chinese built railroad from west coast. Eventually, Irish got upper hand. They become politicians, they are the Caucasian, 白种人. They become politicians, they become many powerful people. And they passed a law in 1882, I believe that is a year, that Chinese cannot come into U.S. anymore.
Right. That's the Chinese Exclusion Act.
Yeah, that's a discrimination. So that this is up to 1911. Chinese already spread out everywhere. Railroad built, salmon is smaller. Gamsan become 高金山, 旧金山. No more gold unless you go to the mountain, small stream. You go to shake around, you may get some. So that Chinese have a full association in Portland. You know that, right? If you don't know us, Bailey, he know very well. They're all rich people coming out from the railroad, from everything. That rich people moved to Chinatown, and they built followed the San Francisco. They built CCBA in 1911. Okay, another thing after that, CCBA contribute something. 你们可以想到吗? Can you imagine what CCBA did in 1932? Japan invaded China is 918,
Yeah.
1931. 1932, CCBA make a pilot training school. You heard about that?
No.
What's
Pilot.
Pilot.
Oh, pilot. Yeah, that's the one.
Coaching.
Aviation school.
You
right?
mean
Uh-huh.
the Japan invaded China 1931 and 1932, CCBA already 爱国心很强 already raised money. Let's send the pilot to China in Poland for 2 years. After that, not enough money. You have to rent the airplane. You have to do a lot of things so that was stopped. Now come to contemporary CCBA after World War II, and Freddie's father was a very interesting story you all heard. Let me rehearse for a few minutes. That was started in First American Volunteer Group, okay? And her father just newly come and join. At that time, U.S. is not at war with China, okay? So the volunteer group actually active for a year, a few months, but remain a legendary story for people to admire because of people like him. His family all grow up, educated, become professional, and they have made movie, write book about this. The Flying Tiger, 飞虎队. You know, Flying Tiger is started April 1941, before Pearl Harbor. They start to go to China. And the Roosevelt made many, you guys better not fight because we are not in war with Japan. But you can resign from U.S. service and join as a volunteer. That's what they said, first volunteer group, and go to Kunming. That's where his father. You were born there?
Hangyang.
Yeah, Kunming, Yunnan Kunming. And, but a few days after Pearl Harbor, which 1941, December 7 in Asia, 8 at here, Roosevelt declared war with China. So all the pilots, there are 100 pilots, went to Yunnan, want to fight, but was said no. You are U.S. citizen. You can help Chinese training, all the thing, but not fighting. But after December 8, Roosevelt declared, it's a day of infamy. We are not going to stand it. We're going to fight back. So he ordered the Channel, the boss of the Faithful Three, prepare to fight. So within about 10 days, they flew up and fought with Japan. So after that, the prohibition of Chinese eliminated. China started to come out from because of the World War II, you know, because of not enough food, because of a war before the 国民党、共产党，很多人逃回来 many are 对生意 most of them. So the rest, my story are very simple. I came from Singapore, but I went to Japan. I became a doctor by chance. I graduated and then interned in Japan. And one day suddenly I got a notice from AMA that congratulations, Dr. Khoo, you have passed your basic exam. You're welcome to come to USA. In 3-4 months, I was in New Jersey, 1969, June 29. Immediately on call next day, 24 hours. Shocked me, but I survived. And 7 years later, 1973, I left Winnipeg because I suddenly realized I have a practice already started in Winnipeg. That's my last year of training. the winter is minus 40 degrees. Snow come September 15. And don't go away until April as ice in the water. So I suddenly realized my wife did not drive a car for almost 2 years. And I was happy because I have seen patients every day. They just started the Canadian healthcare system, 1973. So without effort, people come to see me and say, what do you come here for? Oh, just want to say hello, because we know that is a new doctor from China or whatever. And I charge them, I get paid very easily. But I suddenly realized this, if I stay, I will never get out. So I started to look for. And then I told my wife, you know, if I'm going to start my practice, I better go to West Coast, where more Chinese. Then I started to read Chinese history at that time in the USA. So I arrived in Portland, Gateway area, Woodland Park Hospital. I was there, I started practice 74, January 2nd. And immediately, within few weeks, somebody knocked my door. I opened up. It's a Chinese. I said, are you coming to see me? No, just to come to say hello. That is George Leong. You know him?
Well, you will need to know him. We will tell you about him.
Okay, okay.
George Leong is another local-born, well-to-do insurance man. He tried to sell me the insurance.
Insurance agent, yeah.
So, but I like him, and we can talk very well. He speaks Cantonese and I don't. I speak a little bit, but not enough. So we use English, we become friends, buy all the insurance for my kids, everybody get insurance, and pretty soon he invited me come to meeting, CCBA meeting. So I become a member. In '79, I become school board chairman. The only thing, my contribution at that time is that I promote people, let's learn Mandarin. Okay, so at that time, I went to Japan. I became a doctor by chance. I graduated and then interned in Japan. And one day suddenly I got a notice from AMA that congratulations, Dr. Khoo, you have passed your basic exam. You're welcome to come to USA. In 3-4 months, I was in New Jersey. I start to see around me internship people, big hospital, 500 people, Korean, Taiwanese, Vietnamese, Filipino. Where are American doctors? Vietnam. That's why Americans create a ECFMG, Educational Council for Medical Doctor. You pass it, you are welcome to be an intern, training in US. Until then, I don't know anything about this. I thought I go there for 3-4 days, come back to Singapore and more. So I end up to be in New Jersey, 3 years, 4 years in New York, and they asked me, are you going to stay to get a green card? I said, what is green card? I don't know what green card is. So they said, yeah, you have benefit. You can apply specialist, cardiology, cancer specialist, well, whatever you want, if you are. But the big problem, within 6 months, you may receive a draft letter to go to Vietnam. That's what Patrick.
Yeah.
Okay, and my wife have 2 children. No way, you can go to Vietnam. So I ran. I went to Canada. I don't need to go to Vietnam. Go to Canada. A year later, I was not doing very well with the boss. So I quit and then start the practice. I practiced growing until I decided to go to Oregon. When I come to Oregon, George Young showed up, so I suddenly have a Chinese friend. And pretty soon, I go into CCBA. and pretty soon, Carter said China, only one China. And at that time, I already doing very well in Oregon as a board member of CCBA. In 1984, 85, the governor of Fujian, Hu Ping, remember that? Hu Ping governor, he's the first Chinese official from China to Oregon. And 他是我们的州长，哎 Dr. Khoo, we are quite know each other well. We need someone to host a party because every CCBA president passed.
Yeah.
Nobody can touch him. I said, I know you come from Singapore. You can do it. So I host a party for Hu Ping at Tat Long. Were you there?
I don't remember.
At any event, the party started. Governor here talking. Xie Minhong raised her hand.
Yeah.
Why Taiwan cannot be independent?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I remember.
Xie Minhong is a Chinese, is a doctor. He is a Minjindang. He is an independent. So the party halfway was destroyed.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah, I think I recall that. Yeah.
Next year, 85, I actually become CCBA president. 85.
Okay.
Okay. And we will at that time already have a plan to build the gate, Chinatown Gate, but very hard to organize it. So 86, he was my vice president. 86, he asked me, Angelo, you want to continue for another year? I said, I have no choice. This gate, PDC, Portland Development Committee, Pat Darkoff, told me that if you guys want the gate complete, quick, Dr. Khoo, you better continue. Because I said, I don't belong to any tongue. Okay?
Oh, okay.
I speak Mandarin, I know China's politics, and I know Taiwan's politics too. So that I subsequently, quickly, the gate was built in 9 months. In the fundraising in February, I told people, hey, like baby, 9 months, before the snow come, before it cold, we're going to have a gate. We don't really believe it, but we did it. I did it. Not me, a lot of people, but there are 6 people, most important. Myself as the president, Jin Qing, Liu Qi, mentioned Liu Qi, Stephen Louis, Stephen Louis, and the Judy Reese
Yeah.
from
She's at
PDC.
CDC. Yeah.
She was my spy. In the event, we all these 6 people meet every night. My wife told me that you have no income. Daytime in Mayors of the nighttime in Chinese community. But I finished it. 86, we have a gate. At that time, it is largest in USA. Only couple weeks or couple months later, Washington D.C. built a larger one, bigger than ours. But when it was built, it was the largest one in USA. And that day, opening day, I almost got the Reagan to come, the Gentile, but he won $600,000.
Wow.
But he was campaigning for Republican
Okay.
in Washington D.C., in Seattle. He said, we are going to go to San Francisco. He want me to go there and cut the ribbon and make a speech, and then we go. Atia told me, Atia, our Zhouchang, is I give a friend 600,000. Our candidate, Chinese friend, was a lady. What's her name? I forgot.
Patsy.
Any event,
Yeah.
we don't have a 600,000. And Reagan's party told Atia, they didn't tell me, I'm a small baby. Atia told me, 4 blocks from gate, everybody out. Nobody should live there for overnight. So he will come into China. The security guard, 4 blocks, you cannot have people. And I said, no, forget it. So next day we have a cut, reborn mayor, governor, but no federal government. Sam Liu, our elder, was reading Reagan's congratulation letter. And so we finished it. At that day, I know a reporter, Ann Sullivan. He is my friend. We will have in the Downtown Hotel, you were there too, have a lunch to celebrate the gate. And at that time, that reporter asked me, hey, Doc, what is next? I said, no.
Reach the bar.
No next. So he said, how about Dragon Boat? Dragon Boat. Ann Sullivan. She said, I saw it in Hong Kong. Look good.
The sister city
If
was
a
already.
project good
yeah.
for you. If you want to have a project like the Dragon Boat, whatever river is in front of you, Chinatown is nearby. At that time, Atia promoting looking toward Pacific. China is growing. Japan is the world's #1. Korea is growing.
I forgot about who established the sister city. The sister city,
Yeah,
Kaohsiung.
coming. Coming. Right after that. So within a few days, there's another party at my home. Okay? 西雅图的处长 he representing ROC was there. 方廷流, remember him?
Yeah.
方廷流, Atia, mayor, all in my home, and people are talking about, and someone subject, hey, how about a sister city with Taiwan? At that time, actually, Poland and Suzhou already talking. Okay, they are ahead of us, but they are politic in behind. Want to have Taiwan ahead of Suzhou, and they point at me, Dr. Khoo do it. I was dead, so I have no choice. I said, gee, the suggestion of the Dragon Boat, there is a suggestion of a sister with Kaohsiung. And my income are dropping. and I took the job. I started 6 people's temporary committee. Myself, Jin Qin, Stephen, Liu Qi, PDC's, what's her name? Julie Reese. Another PD's architect.
Snyder. Ted Snyder.
Yes. So we are 6 of us. I went to see Kaohsiung. At that time, still under Jiang Qingguo. Everything is military in Taiwan. Everything is military. We go into the city hall. But a year later, Taiwan become everybody can have a party, 民进党. So that was 1888.
1988.
No, 1988. You're still in the East
Yeah.
Coast.
No, not
1988, we was approved as a sister city. And a few hours, Suzhou also approved. So we were
Wow. A few hours apart.
yeah, and we succeeded. So I went to Kaohsiung, and you were there that trip. Remember that? We will have party, good time, and then we saw the school principal follow me, keeps asking her to go to their school. What school is it?
Suda.
树德家商学校
It's still the same school they came over here.
Yes.
Every
every year.
Oh, okay.
Their old principal saw me in the city hall speaking, signing agreement. So she kept telling me, give me 10 minutes, I want to invite you to my school. I said, she said, no way. So we go back, at night she show up again. Our bus will come to take you there. It is a very good school, professional school, high school.
Girls.
Yeah. So finally I talked to Mike Lindbergh. Mike Lindbergh was our leader. And the black guy,
Bogle.
Dick Bogle. He and Mike Lindbergh was City Hall representing mayor to come that day. And say, hey, Doc, what the hell, 10 minutes? So I agreed. So next day, 8 o'clock, they come. We go to school.
They were marching, and they had Chinese music and dancing.
Yeah.
It was quite a.
But it wouldn't be like 6,000 students in the school.
They were on the balcony looking down,
Uh-huh.
and then they had a program. When we walked in, they had a marching.
Wow.
And, yeah.
In the 操场, in the field. They all 6th floor. Look up and we walk in. My goodness.
Yeah, that was a
So
really-
we start to go along with them very well. First year, already too late for them. We already hooked up with another school. But second year, and then 1988 signed agreement. 1989, we have 4 boats arriving in Portland. No time to show you this now, but in the future I'll give it to you. Okay, all the photo, the boat coming to Portland, and by June, first Dragon Boat racer started. That is the day, 6四事件.
Yeah.
You know the June 4.
Oh, that same
In
day.
Beijing.
Wow.
You know that? This is the first year of a Dragon Boat. Is June 3rd and June 4th. Or June 3rd and June 4 in Beijing.
Right.
I was interviewed by many people, and the reporter actually know a lot of things. I talk about 五四运动, and I said, hey, May the 4th movement, 1919, the big day in Chinese. All the educated people from Beijing, from Tsinghua, from Shanghai demonstrate against Japanese, against Yan Shikai, 21 treaty, 21条约，跟那个第一次世界大战
对。
的会议
Yeah.
Chinese are very unhappy, but government can do nothing. China, including 胡适、鲁迅，他们都是学生运动。So we'll talk about this with the reporter. Only a small short show up because most Americans don't know what the 五四运动. But there is one China 6 show. Say that Japanese consul general told me, hey, I watch you talking 五四运动. But to make the story short, our Dragon Boat was very successful. And 1989, 1990, a new mayor showed up, Hu Tuni. Hu Tuni is a very outgoing guy. He's very pretty white. And I went next year to see them. And they say, bring I mean before the double 10. At that time, the visit is double 10. 双十节, not February 17. 双十 is a big event in Taiwan.
Right.
Still 庆祝双十节. So he immediately asked, we are going to athletic 运动会 and 世界运动会 but not Olympic. 世界大学生运动会. We want our sister city send people. So we organize 30 people's, to go to visit them after they come here for the second Dragon Ball. Okay, in October we went there. We even donate all the money for a black guy, high school Hayden. I thought he gonna get first prize. No good. Joe Schilling, everybody who can run, we all join. But we are amateur. The students there are stronger. But any event, our program become very popular. And people from Vancouver, LA, San Francisco, East Coast send Dragon Boat here every year in June. So pretty soon we're invited to join the Rose Festival. And now we are part of the Rose Festival. This is a big program. The Rose Festival has 100-year history. No, 120 years now. We were invited to 100-year program, but now 20 years ago, all passed. I was younger at that time.
You're still young.
So we become publicly known. And I was very successful in the sense, build the gate, start the Dragon Ball Sister City. The Sister City is tricky because the Suzhou would not become sister city if you have a city with China, mainland or Taiwan, and we have a Taiwan. So there is no. Suzhou was offended. They want to build a Suzhou's 园林
Yes.
古典园林 as a shame, but nobody can lead it. So eventually, Bird Club told me, Doc, let's change the idea. We make Kaohsiung as a sister city of the economic relation, not sister city. I sent him a letter. I said, hey, Bud, Mayor, my time is like gold. 我跟我们的市长我说，我的时间跟黄金一样。I come here to meeting every day. I don't have income. And you promise something you now want me to change. Because I feel sorry for him. But eventually, we quietly become a very big sister city. And Suzhou becomes sister city, but no program. We have 11 sister cities. Russia, Mexico, Nanmei, but only Kaohsiung, Portland was like a king. Because every year we have big program. Thousands of people come to see the Dragon Ball. Other people don't. So Suzhou eventually, there was a guy from Suzhou, Suzhou 外办. Suzhou 外办的主任退休来这边. I talked to him. He told me, no garden. And I told you, let me give an idea. If you guys let me do it, I will become ambitious. I was too ambitious. I have a 2 program, is enough. My wife begged me, stop, no more. But the 3rd program is I go to Suzhou. Zhang Xingsheng is the mayor. He likes Poland. Vera Katz is the mayor. She likes Suzhou. So I said, it's very simple. we built because in the classical garden, the society building, trying to help the garden. Someone offended Suzhou's official. To this day, I don't know who, but I was given a couple of names. One of them is Roger Lucky. Okay,
Yeah.
I suspect the Jenkins, but Jenkins is a Caucasian. He's a museum director. He doesn't need to offend, so he will not. So another one, I thought might be Bruce Wong, but I have no proof. So I quietly tell them, if I do it on behalf of the mayor, this means the Suzhou Garden is not built by the public, city to city. So if I talk to the mayor, if Mayor Zhang Xinsheng of Suzhou okay, I will talk down the ROC. To make the story short, you know who opposed it? Mainland China. Kaohsiung is easier. Mainland China, how come Taiwan is only our province? We are not going to stand equally. Dr. Khoo, what is your intent? I said, hey, I come from Singapore. I am not for Kuomintang. I'm not for Kuomintang. I'm for Chinese culture. Because this garden is a cultural symbol of China. And both sides become silent. Okay, so I said, do this. If you want me to do it, quietly, quickly. Do it at cost. This means Suzhou will build it 3 million, 2 million, fine. We will be doing it. But Kaohsiung, Poland, the mayor must take this as a city program. City protect it, protect all the workers. Make sure, probably 2 million people, $2 million, everything 4 or 5 million will be complete. And not in paper. Because in paper he get cut. The Zhang Xinsheng, Suzhou's mayor, say, go ahead and do it. And I'm visiting Poland with a Taihu, with a rock on the Taihu Lake. And give it as a gift of a symbol, must be in front of the city hall. And so this is understanding he okay. Build it without 没有风声, no wind, no storm. Everybody will see it built. When it's built, there will be 2 pavilions. One have a Chinese word, Suzhou. One is Chinese word, Kaohsiung. And what we do is that sister city will donate 100,000 Portland Kaohsiung. At that time, Mike Chang, he agreed. And Kaohsiung businessman will donate $100,000. Myself, Jin Chin, Stephen, and Mike Chang, we will somehow get 100,000 from our pocket. So $300,000 for this project. And I chair a steering committee on behalf of Mayor Katz. We do it for almost a year, and it broke down. And I was so angry, but I took off to Japan for 3 years. When it broke down because people sabotage it. He said, to do this, I invite many enemies. I invited all the Minqing as enemy. All my friend, doctor, so and so from the Taiwan, they become my enemy. Okay, all the local big shop become my enemy. And there was a community leader. He already passed away. Okay, he wrote a letter Dear Mayor Wu Tuni, I understand Mayor Katz, Dr. Khoo, and Mike Chang has promoting the garden project. Can you please confirm that this is correct, that Kaohsiung will donate $100,000? That brewing. Okay, the letter was sent back, was condemned by Jenkins. Jenkins say, I have that letter still. This is terrible. But both mayors know, people know already. So I quit. And no. At that time, CCBA encountered a difficulty. Dick Kwang, President
Dixon.
Dixon, a man named Chinese man, came here 40 years ago. I hired him as a school president, school board chairman, because he speaks Mandarin. I want to promote Mandarin. So he eventually becomes CCBA president, and he changed everybody to left, from right to left. And big problem is that the garden is going to build already. Committee, everything is, garden is going to build. But mayor agreed, a group of the Caucasian, homeless, mentally health, to have a building across the garden. 精神病的人, and CCBA vote against it. But nobody can talk to me. Eventually, they come to me, and I publicly go against Mayor Katz. Okay? And Mayor Katz released me from the steering committee chairman. And I took a job in Japan, much higher salary. And I took up 3 years. When I come back, garden was built. I heard is how much? 12 million?
Something like that.
Yeah, 12 million people, yeah. That is the end of my story. I failed the third one, but I succeeded the first two ones. Everything is political. You know how Wu Tui also would not tell me okay to build, to donate $100,000. It's the Zhang Xiaoyue. She became the representative of ROC in Seattle. He talked to me, he said, this is all we can do. I will write a letter to advise the foreign minister, 因为他是代表台北, and then to advise the Kaohsiung. And I have that letter. Okay, so everything is doing underneath the water. But most people don't understand why. Don't understand why I disappeared. Okay, so I came back, garden was built, and I actually met Veracruz in a party, in a Japanese Consul General, 日本领事馆的 party. She saw me, I saw her, about 30 feet. And we quit, she also quit. In 5 minutes, she disappeared. Her secretary happened to be that politician who lost his to Packwood. What's his name? Well, her old secretary became very cut secretary. We know each other well. I said, hey, tell Maya you did a good job. Understand is because the treaty signed city to city cannot change. So mayor have to push the money from the city hall. Actually, a few years ago, we met, except Mayor Katz, Pat Lacoste, Mayor Clark, Bud Clark, and a few other people involved in this project. We met at Pat Lacoste's house. I brought out the issue again. You know, that it's done. You guys need money, we would do go back, but Limburg say you have to shake hands with Vericat. Vericat refuse. Okay, it's passed. Let it pass. So I stay 93, 96, 97, 98 in Japan. And I come back pretty soon. I was invited to Shanghai. I worked for Whirling 7 years, worked for Tiantang Puwa St. Michael Hospital for 4 years. So totally about and on and off, not full time, about 12 years. In Japan, including cruise ship, 8 years. And then I work in the countryside in Japan. 21/9 November, I come back. And then within a few weeks, Wuhan, Fengcheng, COVID started, and I retired. The end of my story.
Wow.
But
My goodness.
I appreciate this and appreciate his contribution because this is a small project actually for the Flying Tiger. From April 41 and it was disbanded. 42 July the 4th because the American fight with Japan and we cannot have volunteer air force. So China was flew back, become the general. Flying Tiger was gone. Everything donated to ROC. Okay, so it's only a year and 3 months, but it become a very good story to tell, to continue. You know. Okay, that's my story. Thank you for hearing me.